So I think as we proceed forward, whether it's his son, and I always thought Kirk Lakeup at some point would be the head of basketball operations. How will that fly with Steve Kerr? When you don't have I think the one thing Bob did was the liaison between the demanding owner and the head coach. And you got in the middle of that a lot. Now, how do you do that if you're the son of the demanding owner?
Right.
How do you deal with Steve? So I think that's delicate, but I always felt, and I don't know Ken at all, but I do know Kirk, and he's a sharp guy. This is not nepotism. He worked hard to get there. He's qualified. But anytime you have that, that name after your first name, there's going to be people that will wonder. But the point is, I think what Joe was defying in is we're going to win anyway. And what he was saying is, I'm not leaving. And he's the one that kind of oversaw a lot of it. Yeah, he had to pull it off, but they inherited Steph Curry. That was the one thing. And if you don't get Steph Curry, none of this happens. But I think proceeding forward, it's going to be interesting to see how Joe handles this, because I do think, John, Al Davis was never the GM of the Raiders, but no one ever had that title. Al did everything. Charlie O, he had his brother working in the front office there, but there was nobody. Charlie drafted all those guys. He scouted them, drafted them, developed them, eventually traded them and fought with them. He did all that, but it's more, I think Joe, when you look back on it, as long as Joe Lakeup is the owner of this team, the Warriors are still going to be the Warriors. It's just, who the people behind the scenes that are going to make his vision work. And then most importantly, when you're dealing with Steve Kerr and Steph Curry, you're dealing with two of the greatest men, human beings, to coach and play in the league. They're just different. As people, they're just different. They're highly competitive, but they're just different. When you had a Bob Myers who had the heart and soul a lot like Steph and Steve, they all aligned. Now the front office, maybe a little bit of those guys upstairs, a little bit.
Well,
where
that's
Bob would come. He was not the guy upstairs. Bob would come from upstairs, downstairs, and sit with you and live through all the hard moments they had.
I would call it Bob's superpower, because, like you said, as far as the putting together the roster and doing the scouting and doing all those things, but his superpower was, as you said, he was a great buffer between Steve Kerr and the Lakeups, between Draymond Green and management, between all these kind of things. And then if something happened, good, bad, or indifferent, and this is the one thing I don't know what they're going to do, he was perfect for the franchise and sitting down and always saying the right things. We used to have him on weekly, you and I, and we'd have him on for 15, 20 minutes, and I'd write all these notes, copious notes like I write down, and I said, geez, he was just on with us for 20 minutes and he didn't say anything. That's a skill, and I'm giving him credit.
Because we always asked him about injuries.
Right.
It was the medical hour.
He was
Bob
amazing.
Myers.
Right, he was amazing. So anyway, we'll continue the conversation, but
the Bloodies have arrived, by the way.
Finally.
What do you do with the celery stalk exactly?
That's
John?
Breakfast. All
This
that
is
other
breakfast?
junk in there is breakfast. That's all that is.
Barbara, you want some of the celery stalk?
It's breakfast.
No, see, we don't want
Yeah.
vegetables. We're drinking,
No.
John.
Travis Ishikawa is
Are the olives vegetables? Do they count as vegetables?
We'll get back to more Giants
That's the only
talk.
vegetable I'm getting in my diet.
We're live in the
Al
public
Michaels
house.
has never consumed a vegetable in his life. Do you know that?
Does that count?
Greatest broadcaster of all time, the former Giant broadcaster.
It's Papa and Lund. We're live at the public house on the Sports Leader. Hey, John Lund here. You just heard Papa. He was walking into the studio constantly, cock of the walk, baby, saying how great his eyes were and how he could see. And I was like, yeah, I'm walking into the dark restaurant with my flashlight on my phone, and I can't see, and it's embarrassing. And if you'd see me in person, you'd see that I'm such a young man that I don't know what happened with my eyes, but it wasn't age because I'm obviously not that old. But my eyes were failing me, and Papa had these great eyes. And finally, I said, okay, man. what's going on? And he went to the Laser Eye Center of Silicon Valley, so I did the same thing. And we both had this procedure called custom lens replacement. It is awesome. It takes just minutes to do a couple of adjustments to it. And man, you're just like, are you kidding me? This is unbelievable. It is life-changing. And I don't throw that word or that term around very easily. Custom lens replacement at the Laser Eye Center of Silicon Valley, and it's Dr. Joe Ling and the incredible team down there, and it has literally changed my life. I don't need readers. I'm not walking around the house. I can read a menu in a dark restaurant. It is awesome. I'm back to being my young self again. All you have to do, and it's a free consultation, by the way. It's called 877-GET-2020. Free consultation, so you have nothing to lose. 877-GET-2020 to schedule your free consultation, or for more information, just visit them online at bayarea2020.com. It's bayarea2020.com. It's a Laser Eye Center of Silicon Valley, custom lens replacement. Ask them about CLR with my great friend, Dr. Joe Ling, and the incredible team down there at the Laser Eye Center of Silicon Valley. Again, 877-GET-2020 or online at bayarea2020.com.
KNBR on the gram for everything Giants. Follow the sports leader on Instagram at KNBR.
Now the scratch. Here it comes. Swinging. There's a drive deep into right field. Way back there. Goodbye! A home run for the game and for the pennant. The Giants have won the pennant, and Travis Ishikawa is being clobbered by his teammates as he comes down the third base line, and he is mobbed at home plate.
That probably never gets old for
No,
Travis Ishikawa.
no Bobby Thompson
Right?
moment. Are you
Never
kidding
gets
me?
old.
Wow.
In fact, I would wear a T-shirt of myself hitting that home run and have a video of it to hand out to people as I walk down the street.
I know you
Is
would.
that you? Yes, it is.
Travis
yes, it
is way,
Yes, it is. Yes,
way
it is.
more humble.
He is.
But now he's a TV star.
He is a TV star and a hitting coach
Yeah.
as well. And Travis, good enough to join us courtesy of the UMA. Oh, he's not there. He's not there. Okay. Sorry. We just played the highlight. Mike Kohler, by the way, back producing the show today. He is.
That's why we're making all these airs, John.
He stepped down from his
When
management
Danny and
position.
Walter run the show, never and ever.
Never.
Holder gets back on it.
It's
By the way,
screwed
we
up.
have Lee Hammer engineering again. So, you know, who's dropping by later is Dave Fleming. We can reenact.
Are you sure?
Here's BK Kim to Barry Bonds.
Oh, that is so
Here's
wrong.
the pitch. Swung on him.
That is so wrong. You know, and Hammer laughs and smiles about everything, but then that comes up and it's like, nothing. Just nothing. It looks like your mic got cut off.
No, it's Flem's mic I turned off.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's right.
you turned off. I think she's there.
All right, we're live at the Public House getting you ready for Pirates and Giants today, 12:45. Travis Ishikawa joined us. We gave him this great introduction. Of course, you see him on TV, NBC Sports Bay Area. You see him in San Jose as a hitting coach, and he joins us courtesy of the UMA guest line. Hi, Travis.
How's it going, guys?
Good. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Of course, we played the highlight coming in, and I was just saying, like, if that was me, I'd have T-shirts, I'd be giving away videos and everything. But you're much more of a humble man, so I understand.
What video are you talking about?
Ishikawa won the pennant. Ishikawa won the pennant. Are you kidding me? It's
I
you and
love
Bobby
it.
Thompson.
I
Can
love
you
it.
walk in this yard, Travis, and not get reminded? I mean, it's a pleasant reminder, obviously. It's not like you gave up a milestone home runner. One of the greatest moments during the 3-year run. So what do people tell you about that moment?
I get the biggest joy out of, you get fans just so sincere and just, telling me where they were at when that moment happened. And I don't know if for that postseason run we expanded the stadium, because I think I've heard from 100,000 people that they were at the game that night.
I was there.
And but I love hearing those stories. Those ones just bring me joy.
You know what it might be? Because I was doing Giants postgame live out here on the plaza, right by the Made statue.
Right.
We probably had 60,000 here watching it. But it was Michael Morris. How about Michael Morris with the game-tying home run at the bottom of the eighth off that tough submariner, Travis?
Oh, my gosh. That was, again, I love my moment. I don't really fully remember all of it, but that Michael Morris home run, man, that one will still give me chills till the very end, because I see that. It's coming right off, Journey, Don't Stop Believing, and Steve Perry's up there singing, and he's throwing his hat down below the down to the lower level, and then 3 pitches later, game's tied, and just the roar of the crowd. I mean, that was the one I was able to soak in, and when Morrissey hit that home run, it was like we had to win this game. We're going to win this game, right? You hit the guy's nasty against righties, and he comes in off the bench and just hits that slider, and oh man, I'll never forget that moment.
That is awesome. Travis Ishikawa joining us. You see him on TV. He's also the hitting coach at San Jose. And I know these guys weren't around when you were there, but you know these guys, and you were in spring training, and you've been with the organization for a long time. So the impact that these young guys are making, and Casey Schmidt and Patrick Bailey, and there's others who have come up, but you know what it's like, the dynamic of a clubhouse where it's kind of every day, and then you get this injection of youth, and especially Casey Schmidt kind of is this youthful way about him, and he's giving away candy, and everybody thinks he's kind of this man-child kind of a thing. But just talk about those two guys in general, and just the infusion that they've added to this clubhouse and to this team.
Oh, for sure. Just being able to come up, and every young kid that comes up, right, they just want to make an immediate impact, and sometimes you put so much pressure on yourself, you don't perform to the level that you're capable of, and these guys have just done the opposite. They just come up there, and it seems like they just fit right in. They were comfortable. They got their big hits out of the way early, and now they're just being able to play kind of free and easy with fewer pressure, and unconsciously or consciously, I just think, that energy is thrown about throughout the clubhouse, and you get some immediate impact, and like they say, right, the hitting's contagious. So, Schmidt coming up and getting some big hits and having that big game in his debut, and I'm not saying it's the reason, but Conforto's coming around, Haniger's coming around, right? All those guys just starting to pick up. We're getting Slater healthy back. Hopefully Jock will come back soon, and every time I seem to watch, Lamont's on base. So and JD's doing his thing. So, just everybody coming up and just excited to come into the box and to pick each other up and try to find those big hits.
Yeah, 15 runs Friday night in Milwaukee, and then 14 more on Memorial Day. Just got kind of muffled a little bit last night with the runners in scoring position, and the base runners and the walks and the leadoff hitters. So, Travis, of the guys that are currently the young crew that we're seeing here, or even some that are still in the minors like Matos and Luciano, how many of you had direct contact with? You've been in the Giants system after retiring, a hitting coach in the Arizona Fall League, and now, as John mentioned, you're with the San Jose Giants as the hitting coach there. How many have you directly gotten in the cage with?
I've been in the cage with all of those guys, but a lot of those guys, I was doing kind of the rookie ball for those first couple of years, and these guys out of the drafts were going straight to either Salem or, like in Schmidt and Bale's case, right, was the COVID year draft. And so we had the instructional league camp at the end of the season. We didn't have a season that year, and so I got to work with them a little bit in that camp, but then they just kind of went past me the following spring. So, we have direct contact with every guy throughout the spring training, but I haven't actually been able to, in season, work with any of those guys in particular.
Travis Ishikawa joining us. We're live in the patio at the Public House, getting you ready for the Pirates and the Giants today. And it looks like, too, you mentioned the drafts. 2020 is really moving. I think Jimmy Glowinski is another guy that just moved up from A to AA ball. We're seeing Harrison. We're seeing these two guys, Luis Matos. Is there something to it that pandemic year, everything kind of slowed down? The guys didn't get a minor league year. They had to take time off there. And now it looks like just the guys that we've heard about for a long time are just starting to ramp each other up, or ramp everything up. So how difficult was the year in which these guys didn't even play, and how much does it set guys back?
Yeah, it's definitely difficult, right? I mean, you're looking at probably 150, 200 pro at-bats that they missed out on. Obviously, they try to get some camp at-bats there in October when we got approved for the camp, but it's not like playing in a season and playing every day. And, in the camp, right, we were rotating. We had a plethora of guys, so you weren't playing every single day like you would have in the season. So just finding that routine, getting acclimated to the pro ball, right? So you're looking at 2021 in April as basically their first pro ball experience, and now they're being thrust into a full season, and they're trying to learn that along the way. And so I think there was a little bit of a learning curve in that aspect. And I know, even I think Schmidt and Bales both, in San Jose, they had their struggles, and but you can see right in the long term it's paid dividends, and I think they become better players and stronger mindseted people because of that.
So, Travis, you're obviously working in the system in San Jose, but we see you on TV. I thought it was going to be just Monday nights when the San Jose Giants have a night off from your duties of being a hitting coach, but we saw you last night. So tell me, what's your week like, and how are you enjoying television?
I am loving television. I am nervous as can be. I don't know how you guys do this on a daily, with the radio and the TV and the live audiences, but I'm really enjoying it. Once I get past the nerves, just being able to talk baseball. I've loved baseball since I was 5 years old, and luckily we had a game on Memorial Day also, and so our off day got pushed to yesterday. So that's why I was able to come up yesterday. But usually it's the week. My priority is with the guys here down in San Jose, and coming in daily and working, and these guys are working hard and doing everything they can to try to move up and have as successful as a career as they can have. And just on my off days, I get to head up and try to do a crash course catch up on some of the games that I'm missing just because I'm on the field when the Giants are on the field. And just thankfully Laura and Carlos are great, and then I'm getting to work with Lotus last week and George yesterday. They're helping me fill in and catch up, and obviously just setting me up for a lot of success, which I feel.
That's great. How do you feel about it? Because they get off to the 6-13 start, and I know they lost yesterday, but they just look like, as you pointed out, the young guys coming around, Haniger coming off an injury, Conforto is swinging the bat, Lamont Wade Jr.'s getting on, the defense is better, the bullpen's getting better. How do you feel about what you're seeing here at Oracle Park?
I really like what I'm seeing. I think, too, just as the guys, like I said, with Jock on the IL and, Bart and all those guys, as the team can just get healthy, and the bullpen's showing what they're capable of, and I think everybody's starting to show what they're capable of, and I think it's really encouraging moving forward. Just again, it's always going to be that case for everybody is the health of the club, and as long as there's a lot of talent on that field and on that mound. So I just, like I said, hopefully everybody stays healthy the rest of the year, and I think there's definitely going to be hope for a playoff push this year.
Hey, one more guy before we let you go. Reggie Crawford. We saw some video of him in the Arizona Fall League, and then he's moving up there. And I know it's a long way until we see him up here, but he's a former first-round pick. He pitched, he hit. What do you see from that guy?
So he just joined our team last week. He got to go 1 DH. He got 3 at-bats. Swung the bat well, just, looked like he hadn't seen a live pitch in 20 months, which I think is about the case. And then he got to... Yeah, and then he got to throw 2 innings on the mound, and oh man, the presence on the mound, the just the competitiveness, the ready to go, like just the attack, right, the challenging, and it looks like an easy 96, 97 from the left side. It was really fun to watch. Throw strikes. So I look forward to seeing more times on the mound with him, and obviously getting him in the cage and getting him some at bats and just getting acclimated. Right, it's not easy to take 20 months off and you get a handful of at-bats here or there. Obviously there's, he's not going to be swinging a ton on his pitch days, right? So now there's that inconsistency of the swinging. So it's going to be a challenge just getting him acclimated in the box. But, the kid is super athletic. He's super strong. I shook his hand the first time and I thought my hand was going to break, right? Like if he's just a little mad at me and squeeze a little harder, I might have a broken hand. So, he's just a big, strong kid. He's a great guy. He's already fitting into the clubhouse really well. So I'm excited to see what he can do.
That's great stuff. Travis, thank you, man. It's always our pleasure. It's always a lot of fun talking to you. And
Travis Ishikawa, ladies and gentlemen.
Great on TV, too, man.
Yeah.
We always appreciate
it. You guys.
Yeah,
Thank
take
you,
care. There you go. Travis Ishikawa. Make sure you're watching him.
After he left the Giants, he went to Pittsburgh not once but twice.
Mm-hmm.
So we ask you on the patio, and John is here. We got, it is John, right? Tom, John, Tom Ford, Tom. Yeah. I've got to talk about the Casey Schmidt picture he brought you.
I know.
Best player to play for both the Giants and the Pittsburgh Pirates. Travis Ishikawa.
Pretty good.
Andrew McCutchen.
Brian Reynolds.
George Contos. They never got Brian Reynolds.
I know.
Javier Lopez.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Barry Lamar Bonds.
I guess that would be it.
I saved him for last.
Yeah, that was good.
Anybody else we're missing?
I was kind of thinking that the whole time.
You and
but
Brian Reynolds.
I knew you were going to do that.
Brian Reynolds is
I
that.
know. He was never a Giant, but
Who else?
in the minors.
Bill Madlock.
Ooh, no.
Won a batting title with the Cubs, came to the Giants, then went to Pittsburgh.
Good call, man.
Who else?
Mad Dog. Rick Russell.
Al Oliver. We're going with old
Wow.
first baseman. Great hitters. Al
Ooh, old
Oliver and Bill
school there.
Madlock.
It's very nice.
Very good.
Hard to beat Barry Bonds, but yeah,
Yeah.
those are some good names, man.
I'm gearing to the younger demographic,
Yeah.
John. I didn't go there.
Very
I didn't
nice.
go there.
Yeah.
Who else?
Very nice.
Rennie
Rennie
Stennett.
Stennett.
Didn't he go 6 for 6 one day?
He did. He did go 6
I do
for
remember
6.
that.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
My son was born in Pittsburgh, and about a week later, we pulled out of there. We're like, we just waited.
Pulled out of where, John?
We pulled out of Pittsburgh.
If you would have pulled out 10 months earlier, you wouldn't have
him.
had your son.
Exactly. Yeah.
The Fort Pitt Tunnel?
Yeah.
Is that what you pulled out of?
We got him out of the hospital. We're like, we're out of here. Let's go.
The rhythm method. That's what
Yeah.
I used for years.
How'd
That's
that work
why I
out
have
for you?
5 kids. I have no rhythm.
That's why you're still working. All right, we'll get back to Bob Myers and reaction from yesterday. We played that for you in the 1 o'clock hour, live from the Public House. Come
Bill
on now.
Mad Dog.
That's a good call.
Madlock. Love him.
Little Pirates Giants for you. We'll
The
get
Buccos.
the winning notes. Dave Fleming's still to come.
Is
Talk
he
some
coming?
baseball with him too. It's Bob and Lund only here on the
Me,
Sports
Hammer,
Leader.
and Flem together?
That's not good.
That's not going to
You
go
know
well.
what's gonna happen.
It's not going to go well.
See Sports
Here's a
Leader.
deep drive.
Business owners, I'm talking to you. Are you feeling stretched thin by the pressure of growing your business? You're keeping up with changing regulations. You're staying HR compliant. You're hiring and retaining top talent. You're handling payroll. The list goes on. And it's tough to maintain momentum and still keep your employees engaged. So what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? Well, fortunately, there's Insperity. Insperity puts over 35 years of HR servicing technology to work to help you develop a people strategy that scales with you. So what if your HR strategy included access to better benefits to help you keep the employees you have and attract new ones? What if it offered training for your employees to increase their skills so they become more productive? You know, as a business owner, there's always going to be challenges to face, and no matter where they come from, Insperity is ready to help you move past them by providing the HR solutions you need.
Wherever you are around the globe, stream your proud home of Giants baseball 24/7, 365 on KNBR.com. This is the sports leader.
Thanks for joining us, Papa Lund. If the music is kind of throwback today, Mike Kohler is back.
Oh, we're going to hear
Running
Looking
things.
Glass.
Oh,
The
yeah.
sailors say brandy.
Sure. Have to.
Should we drink brandy? Anybody have a snifter
why
here
not?
today?
Very nice.
Yeah. By the way, we should tell the audience what my friend Tom
Yeah.
brought you. I met Tom
I just took some
at
pictures.
Friedman's Appliance. We had a Saturday afternoon event. He came up and we had a delightful conversation about the great broadcasters in the history of the Bay Area. One of them, Dave Fleming, is parking his car, and he will join us in a few minutes here. But Tom brought you a special gift, John.
Well, of course, and we have chronicled this many times, but back in the years ago, my son and I found a couple of packs of some rare Casey Schmidt cards, and it got us onto this thing. And at the time, I didn't know who he was, and so we decided, hey, if this kid is something, we got a couple of rares, so let's just go all in on him. And we bought like 20 cards, and some are worth something, some are maybe not so much. And we've made jokes over the years about it. And then Tom took a couple of pictures of Casey, one in the field and one hitting, and he presented me with them today.
Great pictures.
One is framed. And so, and actually, they're going to fit perfect in my office because I have some frames just like this, and I use it as a background when I'm at home. So
wow.
I'm stoked about it.
Schmidt happens.
Yeah, and I'm going to walk in, and I'm going to walk in.
Holy Schmidt!
I'm going to go into the clubhouse today and go and try to act like I'm a child, maybe walk around on my knees, and I look so young. Hey, Casey, can I have you sign
My
these
advice to you,
pictures?
John, stay off your knees when you go into the club.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That just be
Yeah.
one thought.
I wonder if someone could loan me a small child for just a moment. How much for the little girl? I mean, just
What, to get Casey?
Yeah, just have Casey
Well,
sign
Ryan
this.
Walker said how goofy he is. Just tell him a joke. Bring him
Give
Sour Patch Kids.
Yeah, exactly right. Give
Bring
him some
him
Sour
that.
Patch.
Bring him that.
Yeah, I'll stay off my knees. But anyway,
Unless
so
you're praying for him to.
thank you to Tom. These are awesome, man. So we're gonna get these signed and very cool. Add to my collection of Casey, who, as I said, I didn't put much pressure on him. And he, by the way.
So was that his first game? That was a City Connect against the Nationals, right? Must
not
have
his
been
first.
because he came up on Tuesday.
He played in
hit
the
the
City
home
Connects.
run. He did.
Yeah.
That must have been. That's his first major league game. It's got to be.
Well, close. Anyway,
because they
by
played
the way,
on Tuesday night. We came out on Wednesday. It was.
Yeah. 21 and
What's
7,
that going
by
to be
the way.
worth? The baseball cards of that picture, because that's his major league debut.
Is that right?
And he hit a home run in the
Maybe
second half.
I should have him sign it.
Yeah, Tom has no idea.
I should just have him sign it. Just cut to the chase. Casey Schmidt HOF. Just already.
How about ROY first? There you go. I don't know. Can he win the Rookie of the Year? Jacob Outman's going on.
Oh yeah.
How about Gold
Outman.
Glove?
Yeah. Okay. Maybe that.
But the one thing we told you,
He's
he
gonna
has
get
to
one of
play. He
those.
has to play like nearly 900 innings at one position.
Yeah, I know.
And
He was second last night.
Yeah.
Made a hell of a play, by the way. He's going to the bag and went back and got that double play ball.
Schmidt happens.
That was
John.
a hell of a play.
The one thing, and when we had Marty, last time we were on the patio, we had Marty Lurie on. And we were talking about great third baseman and throwing arms, Aurelio Rodriguez or Matt Chapman or whoever you want to name for the greatest third base, Sean Dunston at shortstop, whatever. Just his arm is that real. And then Marty was saying he's a great third baseman. He's Corey Seager at short. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Corey Seager's a great hitter, but not a very good defender. But the one thing Marty said, and I've heard others talk about it, Wody, when he's been on, he does slide into a ground
lot.
ball almost every, kind of like he's
Like
a
a little
kid, like
leaguer.
he's on a slip and
Little
slide.
leaguers do that,
But he
yeah.
pops to his feet incredibly fast, and his release is quick, and obviously he has a hose
Yes.
of an arm. But I'm trying to think. Corey Seager does go to the ground a lot. I mean, should he stay up and not? Do you change him at all? I've never seen a middle infielder, and he also plays third, but he slides into the ball. Now, last night he kind of had to because he was breaking to cover the runner and moving on the pitch because it was a steal, and then he reversed field, and he kind of, but then he slid all the way around to his knees, and he can make those ridiculous from his knees throws, John. But have you ever seen an infielder go to the ground as much to field a
That's
ground
a good
ball?
point. Yeah, as you get older, you're not going to want to do that.
Well,
'cause
he's
you're
not
gonna
old now,
bounce up
but-
so fast. But yeah.
I mean, that's something you want to correct, or is it just?
Was he got some Eric Burns in him? He's just always diving and jumping.
I don't want
and
to
getting
say it.
off
He
the
hasn't
ground.
made an error yet, has he?
No. Here it comes.
He's drawn
By
a
the way,
walk, exactly one walk.
I got to give Copes. Now, if Copes did this off the top of his head, Tolbert and Copes 2-6 here on the Sports Leader. If Copes did this off the top of my head, it's extremely impressive. Which
What did he
I'm
do?
going to say he did. This is what he just texted me. You said Pirates to Giants or Giants Pirates.
Al
play for
Oliver,
both
Rennie
teams.
Stennett.
Listen to this list he just came up with. And again,
right,
if he
all
did it
right.
off the top of his head, I'm pretty impressed.
This is Holler?
Yeah, this is Copes.
Oh, Copes.
So Chris Stratton, damn glad to meet you.
Okay.
Freddie Sanchez,
Oh,
Jason
yeah.
Schmidt.
How good was Freddie Sanchez?
Oh my God!
Remember that trade?
Right. Armando Rios.
Armando Rios.
Yeah. John Vanderwall.
John Vanderwall.
Matt Morris.
Okay, keep moving.
Raja Davis.
Rajah
Red-
Davis. Remember the speed
Yeah.
he had? That guy's
Yeah.
fast.
Hit that home run for
All right, he's
Cleveland
just
against the
going
Cubs.
like since Copes has been alive.
Reggie
He-
Sanders.
Has he dropped a Rennie Stennett or an Al
No.
Oliver?
No. Vogie. He had a Vogie.
Ryan
in there.
Vogelsong.
He
Jason
did.
Schmidt.
Jason Schmidt.
How about
He had
Jason
that- he
Schmidt?
had that
Maybe the
one in
best
there.
of all.
So, yeah, there has been a lot of crossover. Pirates, Giants that you don't think of. But anyway, just letting you know.
And when I was a kid, I mean, the two best outfielders, and you had Frank Robinson, you had Henry Aaron, but it was Roberto Clemente in right
yeah.
field, and it was Willie Mays in center field. That's what the whole All-Star game was, to see them. And you know, the everything in Pittsburgh is 21 Roberto Clemente Drive, and everything here is 24 Willie Mays Plaza. I mean, they didn't play, but when I think of these two, I think of the '71 National League Championship Series. That was my first real. I was just a kid. Bob Robertson went off. He played first base for Willie Stargell. And they didn't have MVPs of the championship series then, but he went off, and the Giants lost, and that was it. They wound up, Mays got traded the next year, early in the year, to the Mets, and it kind of broke it up, but that's a good list. But it's Copes. He didn't go Rennie Stennett.
He did not.
Al Oliver.
No.
Who else are we missing? Schmidt.
That's pretty good, though. I mean, like I said, if that's off
Was
the top
Dave
of my
Kingman
head,
ever a Pittsburgh Pirate? He played for everybody.
I don't think he was ever a Pirate.
He played for every team.
I don't
in
think
the,
he was a Pirate.
He played for every team in the National League East. I know that.
Yeah. Anyway, good list, man. Again, if that's if that's off the top of the head, very impressive. All right, Dave Fleming is going to join us shortly, and we'll
Dave
get the
Kingman, never a
latest.
Pittsburgh Pirate.
Never. Oh, look at you! Look at that
Yeah.
look at that list, my God.
Well, he played
man.
for every team. He played for which division did he play for every team? He played for the Mets. Now, this can't be the whole list of teams he played for.
You don't think so?
No, he's almost
The
Rich
best thing
Hill
about
like.
the best thing about
It was because his last year was with the A's. He had
Yeah.
30 home runs his last year in baseball, and then never got a
he'd be
job.
very popular now.
He was
Just
not a
strike out
popular
block.
player at the time.
Well, no, I mean,
In the clubhouse, he was difficult to deal with.
well, what's the best thing about Dave Kingman? The Tommy Lasorda thing, right?
The opinion of Kingman's performance.
That's the best thing of Dave Kingman. He performed when Tommy Lasorda went off.
He had 3
That
home
was
runs and drove in 8
amazing.
runs.
Let's see how good Holler
I
is.
believe that was Paul Olden who asked that question.
Oh, it was absolutely
I believe
one of the
Paul
most
Olden,
amazing
Paul
rants
Olden
of all
is now
time.
he's now Bob Shepard. He's the PA voice of Yankee Stadium.
Oh, it's amazing.
Bob Shepard never made a mistake. Paul Olden did. He did every team.
Yeah.
I told you he did ESPN Wednesday Night Baseball when I was doing the A's, and they didn't have their own booth for it wasn't big enough to do on camera. So Dave Fleming is here, ladies and gentlemen.
He is.
Why isn't he home
He's
with
very
his family?
unassuming.
He is
He's very unassuming.
He's
You wouldn't even
sauntering
know.
in.
He's got the hat.
He's got
He's
the
kinda-
saunter. Anyway, so Paul Olden would do his open in my booth.
Yeah.
And he'd come in at like 7:50, say 6:45 for a 7:05 first pitch. So we got to go on air. I got to get my notes done. So he would take like 36 takes to do the open. He would say, "Hi, I'm Paul Olden. I didn't like the way I said it. I said it's fine. Get out of my booth." See,
that
Flem's
sucked.
one take.
Oh,
Flem's
yeah,
one
kidding
take.
me? It's easy.
Do you realize
Like
Hammered,
Ford?
Papa, Fleming, all together?
What happened?
This is what's going to happen.
Something
Dave,
happened?
sit down.
What, something happened?
My mic went dead. No, Dave's mic is going to go dead.
Oh, and look at Hammer.
Have the three of us been together
Hammer
since
just
that?
taking
That day?
taking abuse.
How are,
today,
ladies and
man.
gentlemen, Dave
some
Fleming
abuse.
to the patio.
Thank you.
Goodness.
How are you?
That was a long time ago. Hey, I know
mentioned
we've
it on
been
the-
together since.
No,
then.
the
I know.
three of us, though?
This is Lee's favorite topic. Let's
know
not get into
it is.
detail.
He's already killed my mic 3 times.
He has. He's a happy-go-lucky.
It was just the anniversary was just a couple days ago. Yeah,
Here
I
we
did.
go. See, they just cut back.
No, it's Flem's mic I told you to kill, not mine.
Yeah. What an anniversary!
Yeah, very happy.
How are you, bro?
That was my first time on Good Morning America. After that happened,
What?
I
Were
mean,
you
I
on?
would we
I was not
flew-
involved in that.
You were not, but we flew to Miami after that game, and I woke up the next morning like a million messages on my phone, and shows wanted to have me on NPR, Good Morning America. They needed a
Were you on
comment.
Good Morning America?
I was.
You blamed it on Papa.
This guy Papa.
Lee Hammer.
He
Yeah,
wanted
let
the
me
moment.
spell his name for you. G-R-E. No.
No. All because Lee J took a day off on a Sunday. It went to hell.
Darren Chan is taking Friday off. Do you know that?
Hammer?
Lee's working on Friday for us.
First game against the Baltimore Orioles.
Way back.
Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. You're wearing your PGA hat.
I just got back from Rochester.
Rochester.
Oh, man.
You
Rochester.
You were gone. I know. I'm from Buffalo.
I know.
You say it fast.
That's why it's
You were gone 19 straight days
I
from
was.
your family.
I was. That's too long.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's too long. I've had a rough, in a good way. Like, if you go back to, nobody wants to hear my schedule, but I'm going to tell you all anyway.
I want to hear it.
Vegas for the WCC tournament.
Yeah.
Spring training for a day.
You're going way back now.
Miami
You're going
for the
March.
World Baseball Classic, 2 months.
Yeah. 2 months you were there?
2 weeks, sorry, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Came to Scottsdale for spring training, came back here for the Bay Bridge Series. We flew to New York for opening day. I went to the Masters. So I was there for a week. We came back. We had 3 games here at home. Then we went on that Miami-Detroit road trip. We did come back home for a full homestand week, but after that, we went to Arizona. I went to the PGA, had this Giants road trip. I mean, literally, I have
So
hardly...
since late March, how many nights did you sleep in your own bed?
Since March 1st, about 8.
What?
Yeah, really a bad stretch for me. All fun stuff. I've enjoyed every single minute of the WBC and the golf and the Giants and all that stuff, but I'm ready
That's
I'm ready for the regular routine. I love this day to day. Like, it's just a day game. I'm going to go home and have dinner tonight.
Well, it's also
after
your
the game.
birthday,
It
so
is my
happy
birthday today.
birthday.
Thank you. Yes, it is.
I remember
my
working
birthday.
with you in Arizona one day on your birthday years ago. But today's a big day. But tomorrow, you actually get an off day at home.
I get an off day.
How awesome is
I
that?
consider that to be a really great birthday present. I need nothing else.
When was the last time you had a complete off day?
A long time ago.
What are you going to do?
A long time ago.
Do you have a plan? Or you just
Yeah, I'm
going
going
to
to tee it up. I'm going to tee
very
it up.
nice.
Yeah.
Bye, kids. I got to go play golf.
Well, they're still in school, so I can.
Goodbye, wife. I'll see you
I'll
later.
be home for the night. Yeah, I'm giving myself a birthday
I'll
present.
see you on the 19th hole.
Yeah, there's
Happy
nothing wrong with
birthday.
that.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, thank you.
Very nice.
I've been listening to you guys this morning. Ishikawa. It was always good to hear
He's
Travis's
great, isn't he?
voice. He is.
So
great.
we were naming the greatest Giants and Pirates.
You got to
play
take
for both
Barry out.
franchises.
I was gonna text Javi because Javi got a great.
Javi got a nice
He got a
ovation.
really good
We went back.
applause.
Rennie Stennett, Al Oliver.
Yes.
Take Bonds out. I mean, you got Milt May. Bab, send me some more on the list here.
Rick Russell's high up on the
Rick
list. Rick
Russell?
Russell was a
How about
great
Caveman?
underrated pitch. Yeah, I mean, Donnie Robinson
Al
was really
Holland,
good too.
Ed Whitson.
I think Rick Russell is like a lost guy in baseball
Yes,
history.
he was good with the Cubs.
really, really good.
Really good.
He was good in all 3 spots.
He was.
You know, you watch Logan Webb pitch, and there are some similarities. I think. You know, not a guy who's just going to throw as hard as the hardest throwers in the game, but incredibly great movement on his pitches. Just really good all-around athlete. Rick Russell didn't look like it.
He could hit.
He was
Yeah,
a
he was big.
great athlete.
Yeah, he was heavy. He was heavy.
You got to like guys like that too, right? I mean, it's like, yeah, you want to work out? Not so much. But, you know.
Wrist
you can
curls.
do
I'm
it.
going to do wrist curls.
There aren't that many guys like that left in the game. There
That's
really
what I
aren't.
mean.
And, you know, Ish was talking about, you guys asked him about Reggie Crawford, the Giants' first-round pick. Like, that's what it's supposed to look like, that guy. And there are more players in baseball now who are looking like him than ever before. And I'm in favor of the Giants drafting players who look like they're giants. Reggie Crawford is a giant, man.
he's
That
a
guy's
college.
just a physical stud, and they've got more of those guys coming. I mean, Casey Schmidt and Patrick Bailey are not necessarily in that mold, but they're obviously really talented, good young players. And I think the Giants going forward are going to prioritize even more sort of the strength and physicality aspect of drafting and developing.
Yeah, we were kidding that, Casey, like Reggie Crawford, could pitch and run the field.
He was an All-American closer.
I know he was at San Diego State. His throwing arm, I don't think I've quite seen anything. I mean, Sean Dunston from shortstop, does he have the best pure velocity on a throwing arm from the left side you've seen?
Yeah, I think he does. And it's velocity and it's also accuracy.
Yeah.
It's like every single throw is head high right there. It's an impressive arm. I can see why people were throwing out some really, you hear this stuff from, because we don't get to see, we see a few games in spring training, but we don't get to see these minor leaguers up close and personal. And you hear these comps like, man, this guy could be Arenado level defense. Not that I roll my eyes, but I'm thinking sometimes people don't understand. That's a really high bar, like Hall of Fame level bar. I actually think Casey Schmidt can get there defensively. I do.
He may be there already.
He may already be there.
He's special.
The thing about defense, one thing that I really love about these young Giants, it's obvious the defense has helped the team. The Giants' team defense has been a lot better here these last few weeks. Defense plays right away. I mean, I don't think you need a ton of, maybe a catcher you get better with some age and experience, just the nuances of learning how to call games and work with your pitchers. Otherwise, guys who are studs defensively come up to the big leagues and they're ready to go. The hitting can take a little while. It can take time to adjust. Defense plays right away. And I think that's been a little secret to these young guys' success coming up here.
Well, even last night, I mean, even though they don't win, Casey Schmidt's going to cover the bag, goes back and makes that play, flips that double play ball. And then the snap throw that Bailey made, I mean, the confidence that you must have. I mean, you just got here, and you're like, all right, I'm just going to make, pick some off first base. I mean, those are the type of plays where you're like, okay, even if you're not hitting which these two guys are, you make plays like that, you're going to contribute every night.
Giants have encouraged all their catchers this year with the new rules. Use that back pick throw. Use that throw, and it's hard for guys. It's hard to you can have your manager and your catching coach telling you to do it. It's still hard to do it at this level where a mistake gets magnified. Patrick didn't need to be reminded. I mean, this guy he's just a natural. He's very confident in his ability. It was a really cool play. I think plays like that and the Schmidt play. Here's why, even though the Giants didn't win that game last night, okay, it lets Mania stay in for an extra inning, or it lets whoever stay in for an extra. Then you don't have to use Tyler Rogers last night in a game that now he's fully rested and ready to go today. There is a cascade effect when you pick it clean. When you play great defense, it helps you not just that day, it helps set up the next few games. And that's what we're seeing with the Giants. The bullpen, it's not a coincidence that the defense has been better and the bullpen has been a lot better because they've been fresher, they've been more rested. They don't have to work quite as hard. They don't have to work around mistakes. It's all kind of working hand in hand.
Day game after a night game. Patrick Bailey is catching again. So there is a day off tomorrow and you're home, don't have to travel, so that may be part of it. But, I mean, is it very simply when he catches, the Giants win, and when he does not, they give up big numbers and lose, and the same you can say about Casey. So how much can you play these guys?
It's a good question. I don't want to pile on Blake Sabol because Blake Sabol, look, he had another good game offensively last night. This kid is talented. Like, they found something with Blake Sabol. Most Rule 5 guys don't look like that on a big league field. But the catching is obviously a work in progress, and it's not fair to put it all on Blake, but the games have looked a lot cleaner these days when Bailey's back there. So they're going to have to resist the temptation. Sable's going to have to catch at least one day a week. And, they're going to Colorado for 3 games. You can't catch all 3 games at altitude. So you have to find a place to get Sable a start, I think, in Denver. And you just have to live with the fact that it's not going to be quite as clean because Blake has given you a lot of other cool stuff, and he's a guy that's worth hanging on to and working with and letting him get better. It's going to be really tempting, though, to run Patrick out there a lot.
When Bart comes back and he's starting to run, he may go on a rehab assignment. Do they go 3, maybe 2.5 catchers, DH Blake, and play him in left and go Bailey, Bart, and Blake in a 3-man catcher?
I think with no Jock, it's easy to do that. Easy might be too strong. With no Jock, I think you can do it and be fine. When Jock is ready to go, then that roster, you start to kind of just look at the numbers. It's going to be tricky.
They're not going to lose Sable, though.
they're not going to lose Sable.
So
I just
what
don't.
would they do? Make a trade to keep him in the organization?
Well,
what would you do?
Yeah, you can't do that. I asked Farhan that because I thought that would be a good avenue. Like, hey, give up something, even if it's something valuable.
It's not allowed?
He's got to pass through waivers before you get
no
to that
chance.
point. Zero
No
chance.
chance.
Like the first team would claim him. First team that isn't totally loaded at that spot would claim him. So that complicates it big time. Look, I don't want to say Joey's going to have to wear it here for a couple weeks, but it could be that Joey's rehab is going to have to, it's going to have to, like, hey, take your time, get some at-bats down there, get back into a rhythm. It's been inevitable this year. You hate to say it, but it's been inevitable this year that somebody goes down and creates a spot. And I think before you make, like, a rash decision where you might lose somebody, you try to be as patient as you possibly can. That's probably the way it's going to go. Probably.
Pirates and Giants, we're live at the Public House. Dave Fleming is hanging out with us. Good to be home. He's gonna
Dave Fleming, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Nice.
I only came down here.
It's his birthday today.
I know, it is
Yes.
nice.
Barbara, it's his birthday today.
What do you got for him?
Jameson shot.
Thank you. Yes.
Hey, he'll
Just
drink
what I need at
he'll
11
drink some
a.m.
Jamesons before the game, no problem.
Should you
Just
be in the
what I
booth,
need.
by the way? You guys are almost
I got to
out
do
of
the
here.
tees by 11:45. So as long as I
you
get
are-
up
you
there
are a
and
pro.
do the
You're
tees.
fine.
Do it here.
I'm definitely
Do
the
it
one
here.
take guy. I could do
Do
the
it
tees
here.
right now.
On my
It would be easy.
birthday.
Yeah, it would, I probably that probably won't be a part of it, but the tees has been done. How many? I don't know how many Giants games I've done, but thousands. And the tees I could do in my sleep.
You do that
that's
live or
easy.
you tape that?
We usually tape it because we have this whole system where we tape it like 5 minutes before it runs live, but we'll tape it and kind of load it in so it all times out perfectly. There's a little insider tip.
Yeah, I like this.
Yeah.
That's good.
Just helps for the timing of the
got
pregame,
it.
just to fire
And they
everything
just know.
exactly at the right
I
time.
used to know that. I think I used to be involved in it.
I enjoyed
With
my
Lee
games
J.
with you. You know,
We worked together a lot. You know.
We did. We did a lot of games
Best
together.
partner I've ever had.
I-
John Long.
Hey, what the hell, bro?
I'm kidding you.
He says
bro.
about everybody.
It's
Tim.
totally different. The talk
We
show
were
thing.
together,
like
what,
games thing.
2004?
Yeah.
That was your first full year?
That was my first full
And
year.
that was my first
Yeah.
year with the Giants.
Yeah. And we had a lot of fun
We
together.
did.
We did.
We
It was
did.
they were fun broadcasts. It was a weird year on the field, but it was still a lot of fun. I just got a text from Lee J today on
We
my
love Lee
birthday. We
Jones.
love Lee
Lee
Jones. We love Darren Chant too. We don't want
DC.
Darren to be listening and getting
we go
jealous.
back. So I would come in when John was doing Sunday Night Baseball. Usually on Saturday, Sunday, did a midweek game on TV, whatever it was. So does John? This is weird for me with the headsets and the handheld mic.
Yeah.
I'm used to the headsets.
Yeah.
John, does John still work with the headsets?
Yeah,
and
and
the
I do
handheld?
too.
You do now?
I do too. Yeah. Yeah.
What do you do when you got to flail your hands? I'm Italian. I can't do that.
I know. DC's got that flexible. They call it gooseneck. The stand that can move around.
Oh, so you pull it?
can move around the microphone a little bit. This is getting really into the weeds.
good.
But I love the sound quality of those great mics that you can fix to the stand as opposed to.
So
the
you
headsets
actually
are
leave it in
fine.
the stand?
I leave it in the stand, but the stand can swivel and move, and so you
it's a
can,
gooseneck.
you could. It's a gooseneck. You can
gotcha.
back on you can back off. You can, if you're really getting loud, you can move back. Headset, you can't do that, so you can control your voice.
You guys
a little
sound
bit
better.
for
Maybe I
screaming.
should go that way and get over.
It
I could
sounds
never do a
great.
football game. You can do a football game with it. Could you? No way. I stand. the
I
entire
think you'd
game.
have to hold it.
Yeah.
For a
There's no
football
way.
game.
He
I
stands
can't.
up.
I
I think you'd have to hold
I don't
it.
have enough hands.
I would be tempted though to try. Like I don't
What
do
do you
it.
do? Football? You have headsets.
Yeah, I have headsets for football.
'cause you're on TV.
And I stand up too, like you do.
You stand up the whole game?
Yeah, for football, I do.
Yeah.
Most analysts want to, so I want to be at their level. I could probably, if it's a really long game or a blowout game, maybe I'll sit down. But
So what's this scorecard I'm hearing you do on your iPad?
I do. I loaded the
Is it
old
an app?
book. It's an app, but I got the Giants to scan my old traditional, old school scorecard
The one that
in.
flips over? you
Yeah,
said, like KaiPass?
so it just purely is that image, but in the iPad with the Apple Pencil, and that's all I do. And
So you save every game that way.
I save it, and then at the end of the year, I print it, and it looks like and so I
Wow.
put it in a 3-ring binder just so I have a little hard copy of it.
So
Yeah,
how many iPads do you have up during the game?
Well, I have the desktop computer plus my iPad. When I go on the road, I bring a little laptop and the iPad.
Gotcha.
All these.
You do that?
I
wanna see that
When you and
action.
I were doing games,
I love
we
these
didn't
things.
have anywhere near these tools. Even just the MLB research, like the StatCast page during games, it's live loading like all the exit velocities, pitch types.
And you
can-
guys drop all that in. It's amazing.
And I think, there's probably, maybe we overdo it a little bit, but I think there's a lot of times where that exit velocity tells you the story of the play.
Exactly.
And it was just hard to, you'd always say in the old days, like, hey, man, that ball was scorched. Well, sometimes it was hitting like 98 miles an hour. Hard hit, but when it's 107, then you really know. And to me, if I'm an official scorer, I'm using that to try to determine whether a play is a hit or an error. I think it's valuable info. And,
without a doubt.
And so we use a lot of it, and it's all kind of right there. It just comes instant. It's amazing how instantaneous all that information is.
That is cool. That is really cool.
I don't know that, the pitch stuff also comes instantaneously. That's what they're talking about with this automated balls and strikes. The AAA teams are using it.
I was in Sacramento watching Kyle Harrison on Sunday, and I saw him challenge a strike of his.
So
it's kind of strange.
The challenge system is to me more likely to actually come to the big leagues than the full-on ABS.
So you think
I think the challenge system is more likely initially than the full ABS.
That's the way it's slow play.
The ABS has been getting mixed reviews.
It's tight.
It's really tight. Now, in theory, you could just expand the ABS because you control the parameters as the league controls how it gets set up. But it has caused some problems for Harrison and a lot of other pitchers at the AAA level. Interesting stuff.
Welcome to Giants baseball on my birthday. Don't you
Do people want to sing?
You got to go.
You ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
These guys aren't that into it.
Happy birthday, dear Flem. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Many more.
Thank you. Somehow I don't predict that Rennell sings for Willie Mays on his birthday.
I
don't think Rennell's going to do it.
So
for me
that's
today.
she just does.
This will be it. I really appreciate
I
that.
thought Barbara was going to do Happy Birthday, Mr. President.
Yeah, me too.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, very nice. All right, man.
Great to see you guys.
Brother.
Yeah. I'm glad you guys are out here.
Yeah, good to see you, man.
Good to see you.
And the Giants are fun.
They
really
are fun.
They're winning.
Really fun. They're winning.
Which makes your job fun.
It makes it much more fun. We got more young guys who are going to be coming up.
Right.
The system's having a great year. Just a good time, I think, to be a Giants fan.
Absolutely. A lot of energy, man. It's nice. Very nice.
Not that I'm counting the minutes till my day off tomorrow. But
on
you
the
guys.
course,
Deserve one,
man.
brother.
It's
You
going to be
deserve
awesome.
one.
I think I've earned it.
Absolutely.
I do.
Sleep in.
Talk to you
You're
guys.
not teeing off early tomorrow, are you?
No.
Kidding me?
Afternoon to you?
Yeah, very nice.
Happy birthday, bro.
Thank you.
Happy
See you
birthday.
guys soon.
Fleming!
That is the great Dave Fleming, everybody.
Hammer can cut my mic now. You get my
He already
permission.
did. None of this was on the air.
Exactly.
Barry Bonds just hit home run number
this was-
750.
Sorry, Lee.
This
God,
was just
it's a
all
bad-
of us. We just heard
You
it
know how
in
many
here.
times I've asked
That's a
for
bad
that
memory.
call to be replayed? And they're like, it doesn't exist.
No, it doesn't exist.
Doesn't
We
exist
never,
anymore.
Wow.
never found it.
That's so wrong, man.
See you guys.
So wrong.
Take
See,
care,
Dave,
Flem.
that is the great Dave Fleming. He'll have the call today, and it's his birthday. So there you go, and you got a little insight into what's going on. Good to see you, man. Dave Fleming has not been home since 1973.
Wow.
So there you go.
Secret to a successful
No
marriage.
kidding. That would be-
never come home.
Exactly. I love you, baby.
Who are you?
That fine segment sponsored by our good friends at Redwood Credit Union. Start earning cash back in your everyday spending with a Redwood Credit Union free checking account. No monthly fees, no minimum balance, and your debit card earns cash back, travel, and more. Get started today at redwoodcu.org/free checking. Federally insured by NCUA. We'll give you a little Warriors. Barely gave you a chance to react yesterday, so we'll give you that as well. And remember, look at us. You can see Bloody Marys. You can see actually a garden that I've got growing on KNBR.com and the KNBR app.
Very
on
different than the
YouTube.
Hunter Pence kale garden, John.
It's a very different garden. We're live at
You
the
have a
Public House
swizzle stick garden.
on the Sports Leader.
Here's what's trending now
Trending now.
on KNBR.com.
Bob Myers steps down as the president of basketball operations for the Warriors. What it means, what it doesn't mean. That story trending right now on the all-new KNBR app. It is always great to talk to our good friend Steve Moskowitz and Moskowitz LLP. And today we're talking about ERC, Steve, and not everybody does it like you do it. Tell us about it.
Here's the problem. The federal government is giving away, that's right, it's not a loan, they're giving away up to $26,000 for every employee you had in 2020 and 21 that qualifies. But there's two different ways to qualify, the easy way and the complex way. The easy way is a certain drop in gross revenue. That's great. But a lot of firms, a lot of CPAs are stopping there, and if you didn't have that drop in gross revenue, say, that's it, no ERC for you. And the bottom line is there's another way. It's a facts and circumstances way. It's just a lot more complex that a lot of people just don't want to be bothered with. As an example, on Friday, we took a case, and we put these through multiple levels of checks. This client who was turned away by his CPA was entitled to $300,000. Bottom line is, just like if a doctor told you something, you can go for a second opinion. If you've been turned down for ERC because your gross revenue go down enough, talk to us for that second opinion.
That is what you need to do. You need to call right now. As Steve just said, call 888-TAX-DEAL when you want to talk about ERC or any of the issues facing you. 888-TAX-DEAL, or simply go online to MoskowitzLLP.com.
to the sports leader anywhere, anytime. Download the all-new KNBR app. We are your proud home of 49ers football. KNBR 104.5 FM and 680 AM.
If you didn't know, first of all, we're live at the Public House getting ready for Giants and Pirates, so stop on by. Award-winning Diamond Notes on the way. You'll learn so much about the game today.
Mitch Keller on the mound for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Mitch
John.
Keller. Last time out.
Hard-throwing right-hander.
Last time out, not good against the Mariners.
Gave up a home run at the bottom of the first to J-Rod.
8 of his 11 games, though, 2 or less earned runs, so he's been very good.
Numbers
except
are
for last
outstanding.
Friday. Very good.
Yeah.
But you're here. Turn it up a little bit there, Holler. Look at that, little brand.
I knew it was coming.
Yeah. Holler down from his management perch today to lower himself to the show today because we were short a guy. So Holler forced into duty and doing a fine job.
And you heard Kyle Shanahan. Kyle is often in his office bumping Looking Glass and the Sailors Say
I like
Brandy.
that. He's bumping.
It's over and over and over again. Little Wayne, not so much anymore with Kyle.
that's not his thing.
So I'm going to leave you in a
going back
little
to
bit
yacht
here.
rock.
I'm going to leave and drive down. The 49ers are actually on the field with OTAs today, Phase 3. Media is allowed in today, so we'll go and watch. I'll get there about 12:30. So
You're
tomorrow,
immune to all that, though. You and Tim Ryan.
Yeah, well, I can kind of sneak in.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
it's where I'm watch it with the media and just see because and we'll look at Trey and the reworked mechanics, see if I'm super surprised.
Please tell me that. Please tell me
I want to
about
see,
that.
I'm going to go to right away.
I know.
His Sam Darnold.
Hi, Sam.
Number 14.
Do you need anything?
Sam, I'm over here.
You look thirsty.
So
parched.
So I'm going to leave. That's why I could auction off my giant orange bloody because I really haven't had it. Well, I got to drive down the highway. I do have Tessie to take me, but
you got Otto.
I asked for a double.
You got Otto.
And you know where else I parked today? The biggest concern was because I got to get out of here and go right away. I went to the Hotel Via and said, "Hi, I'm Marty Lurie." And they said,
"Did you just pull that hat down low?"
Wow, you look a little better than what I saw you here on Monday.
Oh, wow.
I'm kidding. I love Marty. A unique hotel in San Francisco. So
that's where your car is?
I said, put it on the Lurie account, whether it's Bob or Marty.
Exactly. Somebody will pay for this thing.
And have it pointed towards the 101 South, and I'll be in the car at 11:30. So, and then you're coming down tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because tomorrow we're doing the State of the Franchise with the 49ers, with Jed York, Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch. We're going to have...
Does somebody record that? I'd love to. Or is that...
Well, that's the whole point we're doing.
So
it's going to be recorded.
Well, no, I want to hear it. I want to hear what they say. I want to hear what you
in
say.
years past, we always play it back on the air.
Yeah, Friday.
So, no, it won't drop till they have to produce it and clean it up, get all of my... so how do you really feel
you're
about...
gonna be drinking,
How do you really feel about Sam Darnold?
Didn't you piss Jerry Rice off one year doing that?
No,
thing?
that was at
different?
the Players for a Purpose.
Oh, that was a different
I
one.
did that every year. Well, he was saying that...
You weren't that
He
good,
got Joe
Jerry.
Montana and Steve Young into the Hall. I'm like, I think Joe had 2 before you got here, bro.
That's not.
But anyway,
That was the
that's
line.
exactly what I said. So anyway, we're going to go. Then you're going to come down
classic.
tomorrow to Levi's.
Yeah.
We'll do the show from there. So
Like
a lot
the
of
good old
football
days.
talk tomorrow because I want to watch Phase 3 of the OTAs today, John.
Yeah, I want to see the reworked mechanics because I'm skeptical ever since
Super
Kaepernick's
surprised.
guy came on and said super surprised and we didn't see nothing. So
Yeah.
I want to see about that. What else are you looking at besides
Everything.
talking
You
to
know
Sam
who I want to
and so
see?
forth?
Jake Moody. I want to see the new kicker.
There you
see
go.
what's going
You
on
hang with him.
Hang with him.
You
a
like
little bit.
special teamers though. You always liked Kondo and
Janikowski,
Seabass
Leckler,
and
and Seabass.
So you're a special
we
team
played a few
guy.
rounds of golf together
Yeah.
and drank some beers.
Right.
No. I did the whole thing to see how it all fits together. Now, this is not mandatory. It's voluntary. So we'll see who's actually there. McCaffrey's working his ass off, there's no doubt. And then I may be able to get, when the Giants play a day game, I can get down there. Maybe able to see a few more OTAs, but we'll all be down there for the mini camp, which is June 13th, 14th, and 15th. So I'm going to leave you, go over to the Hotel Via, say Marty Lurie ready for his car. Now, how much do I tip? If I'm Hyman Roth and Marty Lurie.
Lee Hammer gave you $1. Here you go.
I think I just shake his hand and say my tip is go with Casey Schmidt to be Rookie of the Year. Yeah, I'll pull a Lurie.
I would.
Right,
I'm not giving you these pictures.
I'll talk about the mosaic that baseball is.
Oh yeah.
And they'll think, that Marty Lurie's cheap.
Oh, exactly. If you just say you're Marty Lurie, you're fine. They'll probably
the Hotel
be fine
Via,
with it.
very easy.
Yeah.
Very easy.
I'm a former lawyer. I mean, here's a tip for you.
Exactly.
That's what he'll do. All right.
So you got diamond notes ready?
Yeah, diamond notes are ready. I got some good stuff for you.
What do you got on Mitch Keller? Anything?
Just like I told you.
Hard thrower.
8 of 11 games, 2 or less earned runs, and 8 of 11 his starts. He was not good against Seattle, but like you said, man, this guy, he's underrated. 6-1 with a 3.01, and it
He's
would
an
have been
all-star
much
right
less.
now. He's the ace of the staff.
He's good.
Big game
That's
today,
gonna be
John. It
tough.
decides the series.
Yeah.
Against the Javier Lopez's. Who's Javi rooting for today? Giants or Buccos?
Oh, yeah. He's come on now. He's getting a paycheck.
We had fun today. Ryan Walker was great.
Hey, you never know with young guys, with rookies. Although he is 27.
Let's just hope he doesn't give it up today and we get blamed.
Well, yeah, Casey Schmidt's immune. Maybe it's starting to go the other way. I mean,
when did we have Casey on? Right after his first home run, right?
Yeah.
And Tom brought you that picture, that was his major league debut that night, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But you see my hat, by the way? I'm wearing the City Connect.
21-7.
He's got one. Tom's got one.
No, I like it.
Because we're the OGs.
I got no problem.
Got to go with the G's.
21-7.
They lost last night with those.
Yeah, 21-7.
But they didn't score.
Yeah.
They're going to score off Mitch Keller today?
That's going to be tough. But they had guys in scoring. They were 1 for 8 running in scoring position. That was the problem.
5 leadoff guys on, didn't score a single one. So home run number 100 today.
Right. Yeah.
We calling it?
We said that last
Who's
time.
It
remember?
be?
We had McCovey Dave on, McCovey Cove Dave.
I'm going Patrick Bailey.
Oh, look at you.
Wow. Could he hit it that far?
Yeah, I think he could.
I may go with an Irish coffee and go Bailey's.
It's not bad. Maybe I have.
I may go there.
All right. Enjoy. Drive safe.
Marty Lurie's car, please.
If you see a black...
Oh, no, it's being towed.
If you see a black Tesla cruising on 101...
Why is Marty's car getting the Denver boot?
If you see a black Tesla with a guy staring at an iPad, just disregard.
That's Marty Lurie.
That's Marty Lurie. All right, you'll give us a full report tomorrow. And
you're coming down tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll be down at Levi's Stadium. We'll talk more about Bob Myers and so forth in the direction of the Warriors, but we'll get into a lot of 49ers as you'll be
I'm going to take my iPad
camp.
with me, or my laptop.
Okay.
So the live stream just ended.
Yeah,
do you want to FaceTime the audience?
Nah,
Can you do that?
The camera's not my friend, as you know. I have a face for radio.
No, it's not true.
You know, they're
especially at 11:30 in the morning.
Yeah, management was like, "We're going to put cameras in the studio," and I just went,
"Wow,
yeah,
I know. They're
that's
everywhere.
on you. That's not on me." And then everybody always sends me stuff like, "Geez," and I'm like, "I tried to warn you, okay?"
Did anybody see me yesterday on the live stream crying when Bob Myers was crying?
I did.
I got to pull my hat down. Did you watch me?
You and Bob are like the same guy.
I was like, once he started going, I know I'm going to start crying.
I knew you were too.
He started right away.
That's what I said to the guys in the studio. I go, people are talking about Bob crying. You watch. Pop will start crying.
I'm a big baby.
That's what happens. All right, man. Take your camera with you.
Pop
actually travels
Sam
with
Darnold.
A camera.
I have a little camera right here.
He travels with a camera.
I took it in the bathroom.
Oh, that's wonderful. All right.
He killed my mic again.
All right.
I took it in the bathroom, and the guy came up to me and said, "Hey, you're John Lund."
Oh, that
the hell I am. I'm not that small.
Exactly. What are you doing? Staring at? What are you doing?
Barbara, Mary Jane, thank you, girls.
Pop is off to 49ers. We'll be down there tomorrow. I will give you more info.